So for this EDS challenge video, I'm going to go over some facts, things to think about EDS for children. You will find, and I will link in a really good informational reference page that has a lot of resources and information going forward about handling EDS for your child. You can be accused of child abuse because us EDSers have a high frequency for injuries, dislocations, subluxations, bruising, and funky scarring and skin tearing. Be aware of that. Plan accordingly. Make sure that you are seeing a doctor and getting medical documentation to support you and your child. When it comes to activities in life, it's going to take a lot of research as a parent for you to pair the activities with the form of EDS, because there are over, I think, 13 subtypes of EDS. What is good for one type of EDS may be highly not recommended for another type of EDS. So make sure that, you dreamed of your son being a football player. You're going to have to rethink that dream, most likely. So plan for that, please. Even simple things like playing an instrument. Some instruments, depending on the flexibility and instability of fine motor skills in the finger joints, may be contraindicated for your child. You may have dreamed of your child playing the violin. It might not work, or it might. Do your research. Check in with your child. School. EDS is not itself a learning disability. It can, however, kind of cause, lead to, or go hand in hand with some or other considerations. So please talk to your school ahead of time. In the US, we would get what I needed for my son, which is a 504 plan, because it is not about the learning disability side or issue. It's about a health or medical side or issue. Things you're going to want to discuss with the school: fatigue, brain fog, physical aspects like subluxations, dislocations, bruising, scarring, fine motor skills and issues, fatigue and stamina with your fine motor skills and issues. They are most likely going to have issues with things like poor handwriting, attention span, wiggliness, the need to move because they're in discomfort or pain, playing on the playground, doing certain activities or sports in a PT class, maybe playing even touch football at school might be not recommended, depending on your child's condition. Absences. There are likely going to be a high rate of absences due to your child's health and medical appointments. And planning ahead for that with the school is extremely important. And the social aspect. Your child is going to quite most likely end up feeling isolated, special in a not positive way. It's a lot, but it's important to encourage them understanding that you can still live a good life. You can still do a lot of activities. You don't have to live in a bubble or be treated with, white gloves or like a piece of china that's going to break. And we just need to adapt and be aware. Bullying is a very high risk factor for children with EDS due to some of the special precautions that are taken, mobility aids that they may use, visual differences due to bruising, scarring, injuries that may make them a target for bullying, activities that they may or may not be able to do. And there is no cure. All we can do is educate ourselves, educate our children, educate the teachers and the school staff, and educate the other children and parents. because with that education comes understanding and often inclusion. So I know this was meant to be more like facts and stuff, which these are facts, and I will link some pretty good resources for information on this stuff. But I felt that this was more important than just like a picture of common facts or that kind of thing. Being born and growing up with a condition like EDS is very confusing, often very painful, very frustrating, and symptoms can change throughout our lives. So they may be fine in the beginning, and then something can change. So being prepared and being aware and understanding that EDS is more than just being really flexible and having fragile skin is important for you and your child. Education and adaptation early on is key to really set up our children for a life full of joy and activity and participation and just that quality of life that everybody deserves. So, off my soapbox I go. I will also include the link for some good resources to help prepare those parents that are going to be getting their kids into school and that might want a little extra help to prepare for having those discussions.